our previous video, we talked about the interval of an octave, which is the same letter name note, but one higher or one lower than the previous one. In this video, we're going to talk about the pitches that lie between adjacent notes in the scale, the A, B, C, D, E, F, G scale of musical notes. So in between most of those notes, there lies the smallest interval possible in Western music, and that smallest interval is a semitone or a half step. The way that we get to that half step is to use something called accidentals. Oh dear, not that set of accidentals. No, I'm talking about the most common used accidentals, which are sharp, which raises the pitch of a named note by one half step, and flat, which lowers the pitch of the named note by half a step. The third sign that we'll talk about now, but is slightly less frequently used than the other two, is the natural symbol, which actually cancels the effect of either the flat or the sharp, returning the note to the pitch for which it is named. You will recall the humble sine wave that we talked about in the last video, and that the distance between the wave peaks is one cycle, and the number of cycles per second determines the actual pitch of the note. We'll also recall that A4 is vibrating at 440 cycles per second. By simply adding a sharp sign to the note, we raise the frequency of the vibration to 466.16 cycles per second. Likewise, the addition of a flat sign lowers the pitch to 415.3 Hertz, or 415.3 cycles per second. If we take a look at the math, subtracting the lower frequency from the higher frequency in both cases, you can easily see that those half steps are not equal, at least in terms of the frequency of the notes. It turns out that the difference between half steps is not a direct line, mathematically speaking, but logarithmic instead. It's actually a relationship of the 12th root of 2, which, as you can see, is a rather long and, as it turns out, irrational number. This not being a math class, I'm not going to get into what all of that means. But what it means in terms of music is that if we take the lowest pitch, 415.3, and multiply it by the 12th root of 2, we come up with 440 cycles per second, which then, if we multiply that by the same irrational number, we come up with 466.16, which is the pitch for A sharp. The important thing to remember here is that the distance between any two notes that are one half step apart is going to be this relationship of the irrational number that is the 12th root of 2. But the truly important thing is to keep in mind that by using accidentals, specifically flats to lower a pitch by one half step, or sharps to raise a pitch by one half step, we can get those intermediate notes between the letter name pitches. More on that coming soon.
And Alice serenading you. Oh, the modern day became the loudest silence ever.